Bruh. Oh my goodness. So first things first, let me just say this. I believe two things can be true at the same time. I believe that Adolf was a horrible individual who did horrible things in history, 100%. However, if Adolf were to say 1 + 1 is 2, I would agree with him. I say that to say this. When it comes to Jonathan Majors, I believe, based off the facts and the evidence, that Jonathan Majors is absolutely violent, 100%. However, I also believe, off the facts and the evidence, that Jonathan Majors should not have been guilty in this case. Let me explain to you why. When it comes to this trial, there was texts that were brought up, and the texts were brought up because the attorney gave leeway for the prosecution to bring these up, because they were asking Jabbari, hey, why were you vague to law enforcement? Then that allowed her defense to be like, well, this is why. Let me add context as to why she was vague to law enforcement. And the text that came up, this was a prior incident. I'm not talking about the one where we have video footage of. I'm talking about a prior incident as to why I believe he's very violent. In the text messages, he is pleading with her not to go to the hospital because she has suffered a head injury. Now, she goes on to say that, hey, I'm not going to tell him what happened because I want to be with you. Now, we're going to pause right there. Ladies, some of y'all are actually victims of abusers. And they have made you believe that, hey, you need to be with me. I'm your only best option. I'm the only one that can love you. Yada, 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 yada. That they've created such a strong bond that you are willing to put up with so much turmoil, so much trash by them, so much disrespect. And it's unfortunate to see that. Even though you're better, you're willing to put up with so much garbage. And some of you men out there, that goes the same. Some of you men are disrespected by your woman time and time and time again. But because of your insecurities of who you are and what you can achieve and what you actually deserve or what you can accomplish, you are willing to settle with a woman who sees you as less than and treats you as that. And you have these people out there who are manipulative and they will take advantage of you 100%. He then goes on to say that, hey, he fears that she's gonna say something to the hospital. And once the hospital finds out, they're gonna have to do an investigation, which would obviously come back to him. He then threatens to delete himself. That's what he does in the text. He threatens to delete himself and then criticizes her for not feeling loved and not hugging him in the morning. Now, let me get this straight. You were abusive to this woman and then want to criticize her for not hugging you the next morning and then talk about how you don't feel loved and you're going to off yourself? Bro, that is classic abusive manipulation behavior. That's what that is, okay? I don't know what to tell you. You can say whatever you want to say, but that's exactly what that is. When they do you wrong and then they want to gaslight you as if you're the problem. Now, in that incident, that's why I would argue that he's abusive. He's manipulative and he's violent, all right? That's what I would argue. Now, when it comes to the recent event of the video of him, running away from her, that's an entirely separate event, all right? Just mind you, it's an entirely separate event. I believe he was violent due to the past events of his behavior and him gaslighting her and her saying, well, I want to be with you because I love you and everything. They both crazy. That's what it seems like. They're both cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Moving on, in this situation, what he was convicted of, to my understanding, was unintentionally harming her. From what I've gathered, that in this case, he's a victim of just legal incompetence. That's what it seems like. Because all this stemmed from was her taking his phone. Upon, mind you, her seeing, hey, him texting, I want to kiss you. I wish I was kissing you, or something like that, right? That was the text. Now, bro, that's wild, bro. That's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But regardless of his infidelity, Okay? You have to think about this. Regardless of his infidelity, that does not give you the right to grab his property. That doesn't give you the right to grab someone's phone. It does not give you that right. However, upon her grabbing his phone, he went to procure it, okay? He went to take his phone back, which led to her having injuries, a bruised finger, a scratch on the ear, based off of the pictures. The issue I have with this is that if someone takes my stuff, I have every right to get my property back. I should not be convicted or found guilty if you happen to get minor injuries from you wrongfully taking my property. You get wrongfully injuries from me getting my property back, which you shouldn't have taken in the first place. That's where I don't understand how the lawyers missed that. Like, how do you not argue that? And it seems that they were arguing, well, he was completely innocent. No, he wasn't innocent in the sense of him trying to get his property back. No, he definitely was trying to get his property back. However, any injuries she may have received during this conflict, right, during this debacle, is on her. It's not on him. She's the one that made the initial aggressor and took his phone. How are you gonna fault him for trying to get his property back? That's wild to me. That's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I would argue any person with an IQ above room temperature would come to that conclusion. So that leads me to believe, okay, that his defense, the attorneys he hired, were incompetent. That's what it leads me to believe, that they were cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That was big dumb, how they try to argue that. Because I don't care how they try to argue it, whatever they would have done, instead of trying to make him paint him out as a saint, what everyone was waiting for was a not guilty or a guilty verdict. I guarantee that if he had come out of this not guilty, Marvel would still be working with him right now. Guarantee it. Okay? However, because he got a guilty verdict, you have to understand, nobody cares how they came to that conclusion. Nobody cares whether or not the verdict was justified or not. Nobody cares about that. All they care, guilty, not guilty. Guilty, bad. And any type of assault or second degree, no one knows any second degree assault, third degree assault, misdemeanor. No one knows about that. All they know is, hey, you're violent. That's it. If you were not guilty, fine. That's a different story. But now you're guilty of this assault, yada, 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 no matter what that means legally or how they came to that or what the jury was, the instructions the jury was given. No one cares about that. Everyone knows that he was guilty. I also want to say push back on the whole Snowbunny type thing, because if this was primarily and solely and exclusive to non-black women or white women in this case, then Tory Lanez would be free right now. That's correct. Because if you looked at the Tory Lanez case, and I covered that too, I would argue Tory Lanez wouldn't be incarcerated right now. That's what I would argue. Okay. Having said that, I think I disagree with the verdict 100%. But do I agree that this person, Jonathan Majors, got a temper or an issue? 100%. I think Megan Good should say deuces with the quickness if she knows what's good for her. That's what I would hope for her. And I'm not even really a fan of Megan Bleach Good herself. So it is what it is. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe lose, no, this has to do, Jonathan Majors should have been innocent because he snow bunnied up. That's why he was found guilty. This is horrible. This is travesty, yada, yada, yada. Or if you can't believe, the man is violent, but he definitely, in this case, should not have been found guilty. I think that's an incompetence on his legal team. That's what it seems to be. They argued, they put forth the wrong arguments in court, and that's the outcome we have. It just is what it is. Now, mind you, we had the Flash dude, we had a whole bunch of other non-black celebrities who managed to escape the reticle of Hollywood, but it is what it is. That's the price you pay if the industry you're in. Just saying, I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying that it is what it is. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree with this video and this take, you're more than welcome to call in during disagreement days. We're typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in, we duke it out. Either or, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think, whether, got it wrong, got it right, indifferent. Like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. That if someone takes my stuff, I have every right to get my property back.